Sheriff, you know Sharon Saxton.
Yes, sir, I do.
Sheriff, you had a relationship with Miss Saxton, right?
That is correct.
Sheriff, in early this year, did anything happen, or did you have a discussion with her about whether or not that relationship was to continue?
Yes, sir, I did. If I'm correct, I believe it would have been the mid to latter part of March or the early portion of April.
And would you relate to the court the nature of that discussion that you had at that time?
Basically, I just said that, you know, we needed to end it, that we just didn't need to go on with that relationship. And she was quite emotional in having that discussion.
Did she continue to try to contact you or try to get you to tell her certain things or explain to her?
Yes, she demanded to have an answer as to why I wanted to end the relationship. And I just said, well, I just think it's best. Then she later said on or about that time, well, if you don't give me an answer, I'm coming to your house. I want an answer as to why you want to end the relationship. I didn't think that much about it. Then on that day, I heard my doorbell ring, and I looked out the curtain, and her burgundy Jeep Cherokee was in the driveway. Went out and had a conversation. She said, you know, you're going to talk to me. I said, no, I don't need to talk to you here. So I later agreed to talk to her at her residence.
I'm sorry, over a period of time, did she continue to contact you, send messages, et cetera?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Was there a time in Nashville when you were talking to her on the phone, but you were there for a Sheriff's Association meeting?
Yes, sir, that's correct. And I don't recall if that was April or June, but it was this year. Probably, I'll just have to give you a date. Approximately, maybe 6 to 7, maybe 6 months ago. I was on the telephone talking to her, and she was talking as if she was in Jackson, just carrying on a general conversation. Where y'all gonna go eat? Just conversation that led me to believe that she was in Jackson. And a few minutes later, she knocked on the door and came in. Now, it was common knowledge when I would travel to Nashville and stay at the Embassy Suite. For the last several years, they would give me a room called the Governor's Suite. The Governor's Suite probably is on every floor, but I generally stayed on the 3rd floor. And the Governor's Suite was on the 3rd floor, and it was room 315. And that was 99% of the time was the room that the hotel gave me. She did knock on the door. I was shocked. She knocked on the door and was pulling a luggage cart.
Has there ever been an occasion where she's indicated to you that she fears you in any way?
No, sir. No, sir.
Ever been an occasion where she has related that she's afraid she's going to lose her job, or that you're going to terminate her, or something like that? No,
sir. She never had that conversation with me. I believe after she was reprimanded, if my memory serves me correct, for excessive personal use on the telephone, she began to become again emotional and wanted to talk to me. That she had heard a rumor that I was going to be transferring her to, I assume, a clerical job at the penal farm, and she would express, I do my job well, I do a good job, why are you going to transfer me? And I made it clear that there had been no mention of transferring her to the penal farm. And I said, you know what our procedure, our policy is. If I'm going to transfer you, there's a posting on the board saying what division and where you'll be transferred to.
Have you ever threatened her that if she didn't do something or didn't sleep with you or do anything like that, that it would cause anything to do with her job?
Absolutely not.
Now, you saw some of the photographs that were produced earlier. You saw all 3 of those.
I did.
Did you have anything to do with bruising on her body? Did you ever touch her in those areas?
I did not. I had absolutely, again, just as I was at Johnny Dodd, I was not going to touch her and put any bruises on her anywhere, and I did not.
You gave a written statement after the incident on October 10th of 2013, in which
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect?
That is correct.
Okay.
I have a copy of the written statement if you would like to see it. Okay, written statement.
You stated in your statement that you went to Sharon Sangster's house to address an issue regarding a work-related discipline. Did you say that, sir?
That's correct.
Right. First of all, what I may or may not have said, or what they need paper in here, let's see some notes. I don't know if
Wanna
that's
see the
the case
paper?
or that's the situation.
Well, let's see the paper. You have
It
to
was,
see the
it
paper.
was, it may have been published that way. I don't know if it's published or not. And it's inappropriate. You know, what I may have said is something else.
Well, the problem is that you are his voice. Speak to him. Ms. Evans, I'll let you argue the objection.
I thought you were doing your research.
I thought I was too, and I thought that it's your job. So, I'm going to hear from you.
Well, that was the next question. Well, I think I asked him if he was aware that his attorney made that statement.
No, I was not aware of
Not
that.
aware.
No.
You don't read the Jackson Sun?
I read it occasionally, but I do not recall that statement being made because I released the statement that you're now holding, and I stand by the statement that I released. You know, in my dealing with the local media for years, it's not always accurate on what they say. I don't need a copy. I would refer to my release to the media.
Isn't it true that you continued to have sex with her up until September of this year, sir?
From time to time, she would call me over. It was a break off.
You will answer the question.
Okay.
You may explain.
Okay, thank you.
Correct question, you'll answer yes or no, and you may explain.
Thank you. Okay, ask the question again.
The question is, did you not continue to have sex with her through September of this year?
Periodically, yes.
Period.
And may I explain further?
Yes, sir, if you wish to.
When I said periodically, it would be generally at her request.
Which you were happy to oblige.
Well, I wouldn't say happy to oblige, but on occasions I obliged and others I didn't.